Hey man, what's up? Hey Eric, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, how's it going, man?
Very good, very good. Almost near the holidays. What's your wishes for Christmas?
Oh, man, I just wish everyone would have a great time this Christmas. Just rock out to their favorite stuff and have some fun, man. There hasn't been enough fun these days, and I wish everyone could go out and have some fun, some joy.
Great, great, great. How do you compare like your early days in New Jersey compared to where you are now?
Well, it's warmer here.
Definitely, definitely. It's cold here, 20.
Yeah, you guys got snow yet?
No, but it's 20 degrees.
Man, it's just different. You know, I wrote something on Facebook the other day. On the worst day, I was having a horrible day. On the worst day, when life has still got you down, everything's awful. You still have an amazing sunset with the palm trees as the backdrop, and it's always like as bad as it gets. You know, there's always literally that ray of sunshine. You know,
Cool.
and there's a lot of a lot of talented people here. There are a lot of talented people back there too. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of folks going places here, and that helps.
Cool. Thanks for rubbing it in. That it's nice.
75 degrees, bitch.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah. Oh man. Wow. And I know when you were on the East Coast, you worked a lot with Jack Frost. How was it working with him?
You know, it's funny. I worked with him when he was a kid, like in high school. We had high school bands, but I worked with him more after I moved to L.A., which is funny because at that point our careers were both cooking. And he's an interesting guy because, you know, he's very professional. He's got this whole metal thing about him. He's probably one of those metal guys I've ever met in my life. But, you know, I also, you know, I knew his parents. You know, he knew my parents, you know, when we were kids. And it always comes back to, you know, there's a deeper bond.
Right.
There's a deeper bond. At some point, we really became better friends than colleagues, and we'll always have that.
Cool, cool, cool. I heard something about a reunion for Profit, and you were trying to get part of that. What happened to that?
Well, you know, they lost their keyboard player a long time ago, and they're getting together for Z-Rock, and they announced that they were signing with Z and playing the show. And out of the blue, like 4 or 5 guys started writing on their Facebook page, "Oh, you should use Eric. Yeah, pick up Eric, have Eric." And I never met the guys from Prophet. You know, I always respected them in Jersey, and I think Amazing Grace, and we maybe even opened for them back in the day. But I just I put out a note to you know, to Scott and the guys saying, "Hey, if you need somebody, you know, I'd love to. You know, big fan. You know, would love to do it." And I don't know where they're at. They're probably going to use a local guy. It probably makes more sense.
Cool.
You know, because I am 3,000 miles away. But I'm so happy they're just making music again. You know.
Right. You recently worked on the Talent album, but they had some personnel changes going from Chandler Mogul to Dave Friday, which I got to see you live at the Melodic Rock show with that.
Right.
And then, like, all of a sudden I turn around and I see they have Sean now.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. And then we did Firefest, and we had Mike O'Mara, who's the original guy, went right back, you know, in the cycle. But Sean is the singer of the band. Technically, we've only done one gig since the record, and it just happened to be a bad weekend for Sean with his business. But Talent, you know, the heart of it is John Parker and Corey Voxon, and they write the bulk of the stuff and handle it. And you know, a lot of bands, you know, the main guy is the lead guitarist or the singer, but in this case, it happens to be the drummer and the lead guitarist. I mean, the rhythm guitarist, but he writes the stuff. And you know, whatever works in the scheme of things at the time, that's what they roll with.
Cool. Jeff Scott worked on that album too, right? For one song or something?
Yeah, he guested on Take You All the Way, and it's a very Yngwie-esque track. It kind of goes back to, you know, his roots in Yngwie, and, you know, my first professional album was with Takara, with
Right.
Jeff, you know, which kind of had some elements of his Yngwie days in it. So it's a kind of nice return. Anytime I get to work with Jeff again, it's like, you know, going back to, you know, a school reunion. You know, you see your old buddies and revisit that stuff. But Talon's a powerful band, and whoever's singing, it's always going to be some powerful rock and stuff.
Cool. When going back to the early days again, what's your impression of the Jersey scene back then, and any wild stories?
Oh, man. You know, I loved it when original bands were still playing back there. And just seems like cover bands are such the thing there now. But it was just, I don't know, man. I guess it was like any part of the country during that era. You know, except back there we had the Jersey Shore, we had the beach. You know, going down the boardwalk, and everyone had their hair poofed up and blasted Bon Jovi out of every bar and restaurant. And I guess they still do that to a point, huh?
Right.
Get the poofs in the hair. Guess it hasn't changed at all.
Wow.
Oh, I miss it, man. I really do.
Right, right. I know you visit NAMM a lot. What goes on there?
Well, all the musical companies bring their latest wares. They bring their instruments, and they have their, celebrity stand-up dolls to show the latest, products. And,
Right.
And I did that a couple of years. It was a lot of fun, and you see a lot of, pretty much anyone who's ever recorded a record shows up, and for their endorsees and performs, and it's fun. It's like a rock and roll convention. It's not as wild as it was in the 80s and early 90s, but it's, I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up in a couple weeks.
Cool, cool. I know you were part of American Angel for a little bit, playing here and there and stuff like that. Anything going on with them guys or no?
I don't know. Every year I get a call from Rocco saying, hey, we're going to work on this, we're going to work on that, and we start, and then it dissipates, and it makes me sad because the band has got this amazing legacy, and, it's Christmas time again, and I'm really pushing the Christmas song, Christmas All the Time,
right,
that we did around the Vanity record, and the guy's got such a voice, and he's got a great world perspective, and I like to read what he has to say, and I like to hear him sing it, and I've tried to help him with that a couple times, as you know, to get back out and do that. And, it all comes down to, when he's ready and what's going on in his life. These guys now, they've all had some success and reached out to folks. They've touched our lives in so many great ways. And right now, I guess they just want to live and enjoy their families. And who wants to take that away from them? They've done so much for us. So at least, we could do is let them live in peace until they're ready.
Cool, cool. What do you feel is your biggest accomplishment in music at this time?
As of right now, I am just so proud of this new Fergie record. I can't even say. We the Follow Your Heart video came out a few weeks ago, and Fergie was in L.A. the day it came out, and he was 20 minutes from my house, and I drove down to this hotel. He was playing this corporate gig with the world-class rockers, and he took me through the whole story of how he was sick and the liver cancer and issues with his insurance. And, he thought he was going to die, man. It was really looking bleak. And he took the time making this record. This was part of his, recovery. His whole rehabilitation and getting stronger was taking the meds. They'd knock him out. And when he could stand, he'd stand in front of the microphone and he'd pour his heart into this record. And this record, this is the sound of a man who did not know what was going to come next. And he really rediscovered his faith, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it, that I was a part of this man's healing and recovery. This guy is a treasure in the rock world, and this record's part of, I think, what saved his life. Cool. And I'm just so glad to have been a part of it. So for me, and it sounds great, Right. Everyone should check it out.
Right. Well, you'll be the first to know that my senior writer, Mark Ballow, has named the Fergie album #1 album, best album of the year. How you feel about that?
That's amazing. That's so cool. And Mark's such a cool guy, too. Not that you're not all cool guys. I don't know why.
Thanks.
I don't know why Dave Felix couldn't have made it his #1 too, but no, but man, that's so incredible. I'm just so glad the music's touching people, in a very real way. And it came out the same week as the Jameson Kimball record and the Issa record. And I know they were all being reviewed the same time, and everyone kind of felt the Fergie record just had this extra special thing. And thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody. That's
cool,
great.
Cool. Are you working on anything new right now?
I'm doing some things for the new Trickster record, which I'm real excited about, because, another bunch of Jersey heroes, guys that, we played with back before we all got signed. I'm working on some of that now. I'm working on Jeremy Hunsicker's stuff. We're trying to polish that out and get it out in January. I'm working on a track for the new Bombay Black this week, another great band that played Melodic Rock Fest in Chicago last year. And Faith's Edge, I'm working on some things with my friend Giancarlo Floridia right now. And that's all I could think of off the top of my head, but I know there's more that I'm just not thinking of at the moment.
Did you ever think like a Jersey boy like you would make their path to stardom the way you are?
Man, I dreamed of meeting these people and doing these things. I was just so far away. And I was just a little bit younger than all the guys that were making it at the time. I was just a little too young to get in the clubs, a little too young for these auditions, and to be working with so many artists I looked up to growing up, and to be helping them, with their careers and helping them get back in the spotlight. it's a dream come true. This is what I wanted to do, and I'm doing it. And I don't know if I could have done it in L.A. Now with the internet, I could probably go back and do it, from there. But if I hadn't come to L.A., I don't know if I would have gotten this opportunity. So I'm just, it was a good move.
Cool, cool. Would you like to say anything in conclusion? Wish anybody happy Christmas or whatever?
No. Humbug. No, man. I want to wish everybody the best, and Jersey is my heart. I go back there like 3 or 4 times a year, and I just love going to the same places, and I never lose in touch with my roots. They feed what I do. I'm working on these songs, and I think about the Jersey Shore, and I think about the Turnpike, and I think about all these things, and I wish I was there with you guys, but not shoveling snow.
Right.
You're on your own.
Thanks. That's why I bought a snowblower.
Smart man. Yeah, I'd probably have to have one, but
Yeah.
no. But God bless everybody, really, and check out these new records. They're really, the new Mecca, the new Fergie, the new Talon. They're all out this month, and you got to read that Fergie story.
Cool. Thank you very much for the interview, and wish you the best.
Yeah, rock on. Keyboardplayer.net.